All right, so we're shooting at Otafest. You all ready?
Yeah, I'm all ready to go. You got your costume?
I'm not gonna wear a costume, Jordan. I didn't last year. I'm not gonna. You're not wearing a costume, are you?
Well, I thought you had to wear.
You don't even watch anime. What possible anime character could you have chosen?
It's supposed to be an anime costume?
Oh no. Hey, it's Chris Nichols here from the camera store again, and we're coming to you from Otafest for the second time, but this time from the University of Calgary's main campus, and it's huge, way bigger than last year. Now, last year we had a really hard time capturing all the unique stuff we were seeing. There were so many different events, one camera just couldn't do it. So today, we've got the Ricoh Theta, the M15. Now what's unique about this camera is a basically full 360-degree view for stills and video. So I'm gonna go through here today. I can record whatever I want. We're gonna show you all the unique features on this camera. I think it's gonna be perfect for today. Now I wanna talk to you about some of the exciting features on the Theta 360, especially the video. Now this is very unique. I mean, we're capturing video in here and you can look anywhere you want in the video. Now, what you're looking at right now is a screen recording, so we determine what you're gonna look at. But if you wanna head over to our shorts area, here you can see the footage that we've collected. And the amazing thing is you can choose to look wherever you want. The video's capturing everything around us. This gives you, the viewer, the choice to decide how you're gonna view this particular movie. Now, of course, you're probably watching at home and you're saying this video looks like absolute. And that is true. The quality's pretty poor. Resolution is hard to peg down on these cameras too because of the 360 nature of it. And you know, they're not really very open about what sensor size and lens aperture and things like that. Also, low light performance is pretty poor, but try to get over that part of it. I mean, this stuff is going to get better and better as the Ricoh Theta improves. What we really want to do is focus on the potential that we have here, the massive and very interesting potential with a camera like this. Now, when it comes to the still capabilities on the 360, again, there's a lot of misinformation. It's not totally clear. You know, according to hearsay, you're anywhere between 4 and 6 megapixels, but what really makes it amazing is the 360-degree view that you get here. Now, you can also do some neat stuff. You can look at this on the viewer, pan around in a spherical format. You can also have these flattened out 360 rectangular views. They look really funky, but a really nice quick control. One thing I'm going to say though about the interface that I don't like on this particular camera, going between stills and video is based on turning the camera off, holding down a button combination, and turning it on. And you're not always clear if you're taking video or if you're taking stills other than audio cues. So if you hook this up to your phone, which we're going to talk about in a bit, that can help a little bit. Now, I hope you guys can make note that I'm not taking any pervy upskirt videos with this camera, but I guess you certainly could. But when it comes to the 360, what you are going to look for is very interesting kind of areas. I mean, things where you can just put a camera in a small area. A lot of people are doing their mouths and things like that. I'm not going to do that for you guys tonight. And get these huge full views. So very, very interesting, but you got to look for neat opportunities. Now, of course, there's no LCD screen on the Theta, so I have no idea when I'm taking photos or what I've caught, and that is one issue. You really got to use your phone here as your separate interface. I also can't preview what I'm going to see. There's no live view connection, so the Wi-Fi is easy enough to connect to. We've got a nice Theta app, but I've got to take photos and then check on the phone afterwards what I got. Also, it seems the only way you can look at them is by downloading them to your phone. This is Jordan's. It's almost out of space, so that does make things tricky. Still, you want this interface. It's easy to use, and it does make the camera slightly more effective. You know, it's a really strange experience using this, walking around and shooting, especially in public places like this. I'm going into rooms, I'm taking pictures, and I'm not even thinking about composition or, you know, aperture, shutter, ISO control, although you do get control over shutter and ISO through your phone. But I'm just really taking pictures, and I guess the only thing I'm trying to be conscious of is perspective, you know, how close I get to things, and the height of the camera, you know, trying things where I jump off rocks and take pictures myself. You can have a lot of fun, but it's a mind-bending way of thinking. Now, also, I don't mind getting in the photos myself, of course, for these shots. You can have a lot of my face in these things looking at you. But if you don't want to be in the photo, for example, maybe you're doing like realty and you want to fill a whole 360 of a room or house, you got a tripod thread on the bottom there, throw it on a tripod and then remotely fire it with your phone, and then you don't have to have your face in these 360s. So we found ourselves a nice quiet classroom. We needed this last year too because there's so many people. It's so crazy and busy. Just a bit of peace and quiet to talk about some of the applications for the Ricoh Theta. Now there are some interesting software programs out there, apps for your phone, and of course YouTube now supports this 360 video as well. There's a Sphere app that we like on the phone, and you can bring up your photos, move the phone around, and it's as if you're scanning through this spherical space looking where you want to look. But the big advantage that I see with the Ricoh Theta, the really kind of interesting thing about it is when you're recording video, the person holding the camera can take you on a tour of a space like I'm doing here today, go through areas, think about realty, going through a house or going through a place. And then you as the viewer, as you're watching this video, this camera move through space, can choose to look in the first person wherever you want to. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, again, think about somebody like a real estate agent taking you through a house, and you can just look in the kitchen there, and then, oh, I want to look down the hallway, and I want to look up at the ceiling of this light fixture, pause the video, and look all around in 360. It's amazing that way. Or think about somebody doing something adventurous, climbing a mountain, going on a hike, any kind of stuff like that, and as they take you on this journey, you get to look anywhere you want first person. It really has some amazing applications. Think about it. I cannot wait for this camera to get better and better image quality. Now it's a really smart design, nice cute little construction, and actually only $350 Canadian, which is a steal for the technology that we get here. Some issues though, you get 4 gigs of memory built in and that's it. So you gotta be sparing with that. It's gonna run out pretty quick. And the other thing, I have no idea how much battery life I have left. So I'm just gonna shoot this thing until it dies. Now the Theta does struggle in low light situations. I mean, this room is not bright, but it's not pitch black either. And we've got this other exposure outdoors with the trees here. The Theta has a hard time when you've got 2 different levels of exposure, and you'll even sometimes see not just the digital seam of the 2 lenses stitching together, but an actual exposure seam as well. You can take a photo here and look for this. So you can see here, you know, exposure levels, lots of grain, lots of noise, and the video is even worse. All right, so the hot mustard and I, we're gonna call it a day here at Otafest 2015, but you know, this little Ricoh Theta was a lot of fun to use. It worked exactly how I wanted it to in this very public, very busy situation. You know, on paper, the specs are not great, but we have to remember that photography is about things other than just good specs. This camera is unique and it's fun. It's got some interesting commercial applications. You can use it in a very creative way, and it gets your mind thinking in a way that it hasn't in a long time. So remember, subscribe, check us out on Instagram, go to our Shorts channel, and see the videos that we've taken on here so that you can do that same first-person pan yourself. And check out this little camera. See what it can do for you. I think you'll find it a lot of fun.